we are looking at the next step on the camper build. And what we need to figure out is the insulation quantities and type and thickness and blah, blah, blah. So we have 3/4 inch foam board insulation polystyrene there. We have the back portion completely insulated, roof in the roof wise. That's done. We got to figure out this section and all of this other sections ahead of that. The tricky part of this is, like I said in the last video, these are all tapered. The other thing is all of these sidewalls have to be 1.5 inches thick because that's what it is. The wing walls, top and bottom, are all 3/4 inch, which I have all the material for that. It's just I need to get the glue in there. So just working on miscellaneous insulation, portions like this that are underneath. These boards here are half thickness. There's a pocket underneath there. So I'm just putting these pieces in there, putting them in there, sliding them up. I have a 1 inch little opening here. So I got it down to like here now. So we'll just fill them all in there. You just keep popping them in there like coins in a soda machine. So this is on the wing. We got some holes cut out, some stuff like that. So let's see how she fits. Battery vent here, and then this is the battery hold down backing plate. So I had to cut out for that. Let's see if my measurements worked out. So we just trimmed a little bit off the edge. Right up in there. Lined up perfectly for the vent. Now we're just gonna get some. Good morning. We got a nice new morning here. Coffee. We got the old kitten. Insulation day. And it's a unique day. You know why? You guys want to go outside? Let's go. Come on, go ahead. Let's see what they think of the snow here. So there we go. Go get them. It is a unique day because we got insulation going in, and it just so happens that it's the first snow of the year in November. A little bit earlier than normal here, northeastern Pennsylvania, but I guess it's not that weird. So I have this panel here which is going to go on the roof, and I have it marked where the wiring is going. I just carved out a section that will allow for clearance. So here's the situation. We got 1.5 inch thick studs. We got a bunch of 1 inch foam for free, and then filled in the additional 1/2 inch with 1/2 inch foam. So we're gonna try and glue this together. I can't get foam board specific glue like I got, geez, probably 2 years ago almost. So I'm gonna try to use liquid nails. It says it's good for foam board, but yeah, I don't know, I'm doing some tests just to do foam board to foam board to glue this, but I also have to stack it and then put some weight on this to kind of let the glue dry. But that's the plan, and it's staggered like this because of the tapered roof ceiling joists, and yeah. And then once the aluminum roof goes on here, it just kind of lays on top. It actually doesn't get screwed in. It just lays on top and gets stapled into the sides. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Gotta do that. many times. Just want to show the process. We're just literally patching everything together with crazy stuff. You know, all this wiring down here and like stuff like this, and like on the hiccups and this, all of this has just got to get figured out. So like wedging insulation behind there and then putting it on top, and it's just like kind of a hodgepodge. So of course we got carpet insulation or padding, whatever it's called, hiccup, and we have, this is just a bunch of hodgepodge, and it's to build it up so it's as close as to the wood thickness as possible. I'm doing the harder ones first, and hiccup. I want to say that Liquid Nails Heavy Duty, it's called, does not work for foam gluing adhesive. This Liquid Nails Project and foam board adhesive barely works for foam. This is polystyrene. The stuff that I like the most, I can't find it right now, is Loctite PL300. That stuff seems to work really well. I don't know about foam to foam, but it definitely works like foam to wood, like really well. That stuff's good. It's just hard to find right now. So this is really time consuming. Normally you would get 1.5 inch foam, you'd cut it to that shape, and you shove it in there and be done. We've got all this 1 inch thick foam, and we're gonna use that, and then we're putting on top of it a 1/2 inch thick foam on top of that, so that it makes 1.5 inch. Here's a 1/2 inch foam, which I could find. So that goes on top of the 1 inch, and that makes your 1.5 inch, which is the thickness of the studs. So right here. Oh, it's good. Updates on what's going on with this insulation. I know it's a split second for you guys, but it's been a day or two for me. So here we got the roof. As you can see here, the entire roof is completed. Like I mentioned before about this tapering down, the roof, the rafters or whatever you want to call them, joists, ceiling joists. So it's built up, and then I just chamfered it, just shaved it down with a knife, and then I have another step, and then I have another step, and then this is the carpet that's just a thinner layer, and then so that it creates a slope, like a stepped slope of insulation. We'll see if it works. I don't know. But I can tell you right now that the existing insulation was your normal fiberglass, like batting, whatever, pink style insulation. That obviously did not provide any structural integrity to it. It's just like cloth, it's soft. So I don't know if you even need anything in here for the roof, because I'm concerned about the roof aluminum having just laying on these little rafters, and then having those, what are these called? Ceiling joists, and then they're laying only on those boards, so that like the aluminum's thin. So if you were to put any pressure on that area, it would just like cave the aluminum in. So this style will at least like have some rigidity. I know you're not supposed to be walking on this section of the roof. You got to lay plywood down on, like once the camper's done with the aluminum, you got to lay a piece of plywood down and walk on that, so that you distribute your load between ceiling joists, at least 2, so that it won't break through the ceiling. Now you can definitely walk on that rear section that's capped with 3/8 plywood, and that's what it's designed for, but this, everywhere else in the roof, you cannot do that. So I'm just trying to see like how much to build this up. And again, like you can see there's gaps where the vents are. So I'm leaving this not completed essentially right around the vents, because I gotta like figure it out, look at it and kind of see what the heck I need to do, because I'm assuming I'm gonna have to build this up insulation wise to the edge of that, so that the aluminum kind of has a slope down, so that the vents are the highest points of the roof, so that the water doesn't pool down in there and just leak in. It sheds away. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to build up insulation to those edges, but I can always do that later. So we're just gonna say that this roof is completed for now. The majority of it is completed. It took me all day to do this. There is a lot of pieces in here. It's not just one piece. Like I mentioned before, I'm trying to utilize, we got a lot of 1-inch for free, so I'm utilizing it by stacking it. We have the aluminum on the driver's side bottom. I just have it slid up into the area. I got the 2 bottom pieces of aluminum, right? And we're gonna line this up the best we can by myself here. So I'm just lining this up so that I can mark the hole for where the tail light is. It's right here. See where the new hole is on the new tail lights. So I ended up looking at this, and I'm using this tail light no matter what. So I'm just gonna have to drill a new hole in the aluminum, and it's all gonna be sealed on the outsides of this light anyway. So I'm just gonna, this is where the hole was for the old tail lights in the aluminum, and this is where the hole is gonna line up if I put the tail lights in the same location, just because the hole is different on the where the wires come out. So I just completed tidying up the trailer light wiring, and I kind of hugged the stud here, and then it comes out of the hole. So then now when I cut that piece of insulation, I'll have, it won't look like that. I don't have to deal with that. I can just cut little notches almost on the edges and then just put that piece in. Be a little cleaner. So areas like this, where I have these switches in here, you got to get a little bit creative. And I'm using the 1-inch foam, and I'm just cutting in little pieces and kind of notching out where the terminal or where the electrical connectors are, and just gonna do that. And then we're just gonna do this type of carpet over top of that, just to kind of, we are making progress here. We have all of the insulation done on the rear wall. The only sections that are not completed are the bottom sections, because I need to keep those clamps on there in order to keep the dollies on there. We'll cut those out at the end and put them in later. But we're gonna get 90% of the insulation done, then we're gonna have to wheel it out. But anyway, it's a good deal. We got a new day. New day. Cats are confused. They're wondering what the heck is going on. Why is he working out here? Got the coffee rolling. 6 a.m. start, Sherman. 6 a.m. start. Coffee break at 9. Got the driver's side, what are you talking about? Got the passenger side insulation done. Took me 6 hours to do this because it's doubled. You know, there's 2 sheets under here because of the way I'm doing it. Some of them weren't cut snug, so I clamped them temporarily. I got some wedges holding them on. But the glue, I use the glue, so the glue will dry, and hopefully it'll stay put. So I got to do driver's side, underneath the bunk, and the front wall. All needs to be done. Which, the rate today's going is not going to happen today. Alright, you guys get the point. Most of the insulation is done. I'm not going to keep boring you because this is going to be more days and days and days to actually get this done, because I can't work on it for that many hours at a shot. So this here is most of the insulation is done. The rear is all done. You know, it's all going to be done at one point. Next step is aluminum siding, Gotta bring it in, gotta start assessing it, looking at it, pulling staples, straightening out all of the flanges on the edges, and dealing with that and cleaning it and prepping it, getting ready for install on the side of the camper. So it's a good deal. Stay tuned for the rest of the build.